universal commercial contract trust. You're contracting with the surety, and the surety is bonding the claims, okay? And they're bonding the claims using the two bonds, but that combined into a surety bond. So what is a surety bond? A surety bond is a three-party contract, okay? One party, the surety, promises, in accordance with the terms of the bond, to answer for the default of another party. The principal, which is the principal. The third party, the obligee, remember the four endorsements, the obligee is protected by the bond. Typically, the principal and surety will promise to perform or pay the obligee up to the started amount or money for damages if the principal fails to perform its contract obligations. The fourth party, the surety bond producer or bonding agent, is not actually a party to the bond, but is a resource to the other parties and often will have a facilitating role in claims and situations, and the most familiar with the principal and its immediate situation. Okay, together, the performance and the payment bond create what's known as a fidelity bond, which is also known as a surety bond, okay? There's three types of surety bonds that are housed under this fidelity bond. They are a bid bond, a performance bond, and a payment bond. A bid bond provides financial protection to the obligee if a bidder is awarded a contract pursuant to the bid documents. Okay, that's all I want to read from the bid bonds for right now. A performance bond provides assurance that the obligee will be protected if the principal fails to perform the bonded contract. If the obligee declares the principal in default and terminates the contract, it can call on the surety, our debtor, to meet the surety's obligations, okay? That's why we're talking about obligations, obligor, obligee, the surety and the obligee. You are the you are in control of the surety, who is under the bond itself. Your signature, which is the surety that you signed on behalf for, is what created that bond. Now, the payment bond provides assurance that certain laborers, we are the laborers. Our credit is our labor. Material supplies that furnish services, labor, and materials for use of the bond contract will be paid. And the payment bonds are provided primarily for the benefit of the principal's suppliers and subcontractors on the project, providing them with a remedy in the event of non-payment with the benefit. However, come certain obligations to notify the sureties of the contractor of non-payment in a timely manner. Every state's a little bit different. In states, the time period for sending notices and enforcing claims are set by state laws and yada yada. That doesn't apply to us wholeheartedly, because it's the state contractors that are contracting with the state that took our surety signatures to create the bond, and now we're going to be utilizing discharge at any time because we're not a for-profit state entity. If you're having a brand new house being built, there's going to be a bond associated with it. If you're going to buy a car from Ford Motor Company, there's going to be a bond associated with that vehicle. What we need to do is identify the bonds, which is always the performance and the payment bond, and liquidate out of it in order to fulfill the payment of what's remaining on the car title or the house or the marriage certificate or anything like that. Guys, the whole purpose on doing a non-UCC is to have a superior banking contract. I have here, in all of my efforts of fighting one in particular company that has caused me the most amount of headache, which is about to be settled, is the HOA. I have an HOA where I live, and I've never seen a group of communists more aggressive about collecting money from me, the homeowner, the person who has ownership of the title, and enforcing me to live my life a certain way. And then with pre-notice ahead of time, they increase their rates as high as that they want. They're basically a usury company. They're a private corporation for profit, and their main objective or main ability to get homeowners to pay them is because of a lien. You see, if you want to liquidate the payment bond, if you want to get control, you need a superior banking contract to go with your banking forms. And this is why we're doing the non-UCC. So the two forms of the construction contract is paper money for debts and credits. It's set up under two construction bonds. One is a UC contractor's surety performance bond and a payment labor bond as a combined full-funded contractors, and there it is, fidelity bond. You as the owner of UCC Contract Trust have the right to terminate any UCC construction contract at any time with the Treasury IRS UCC Contract Trust Department. And you can also order the liquidation of all contractors' bonds and assets as your credit in order to settle all your debts. As the owner, all the remaining credits belong to you in American constitutional money non-UCC labor credits. When the non-UCC is in the private, okay? Well, there used to be a time where you didn't have to register your vehicle, and they had this thing, what was it called, like a pink slip that proved that you were the owner of the vehicle. But what happened is when the private corporations got involved with these certificates or these registrations of your vehicle, your house, and all of that, they put you into their private for-profit corporation. So when they go ahead and start to sue you, or if you don't make a payment on time, or if you default, or, you know, the repo man's coming, or someone's about to, you know, put a notice on your door of non-payment, it's because you contracted or registered inside of their system, so with your fake surety entity, and that's what they're attacking. And when they go ahead and do that, what happens is now you're out for words. Like, you're just like, oh my gosh, you guys have a priority lien on me, and I need remedy to get out of it, but I've contracted myself into it. Now, there is a way to get out of a situation like that. And the answer is get a superior banking contract to the one that you're currently in. That's why the non-UCC is so important. The answer to all of your questions is get your individual bankers, all your EINs, do your non-UCC correctly, and register, mail it to yourself, and fill out the forms correctly. And then if whatever your direction is not followed by whatever government corporated service provider that you're going after for the payment of the performance bond doesn't listen to you, know what the procedure is to have the CID and the IRS go from them.